Everyone has their favorite animated movie, or they have a movie that a lot of people collectively hate on. But as years go on and a lot worser movies come out, we kind of sit to ourselves and think, were these movies really that bad in the first place? And there's a lot of movies that tend to fall on the maybe we treated this movie a little too harshly when it first came out, and maybe there were some things to enjoy about the movie that we just all collectively bash the movie for. So today I want to talk about some pretty bad movies in a lot of people's eyes, and say if they were really bad in the first place. So, to start off, we have Megamind versus the Doom Syndicate. Was this movie bad, or was it No, it's bad. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat this movie, cause no. But the only thing I could commend this movie for is I could just say that the voice actors do not fit these characters at all, but I'm sure they can give better performances on different characters. That's all I can give the movie. The animation, very bad, story, terrible, and the writing, and it's really sad that these were the writers from the original movie. How do you move to this? But nope, this movie is straight up bad. There are no redeeming qualities to this movie at all. The next movie on our list is a really big hated animated movie that has kind of started to calm down as the years go on, but the Emoji Movie. This is considered for lots of people the worst animated movie of all time. And the more I look into this, okay, I don't think it's that bad. There are way worse animated movies out there. Yes, this movie isn't that good, but I wouldn't consider it the worst piece of animation ever put to the screen. That's a little overstating. Yes, the movie itself is bad. Yes, Sony really only put this movie out there was because we were getting the success of movies based off of properties such as like the Lego movies. We had the Playmobil movie. That doesn't count. That was a movie that was swept under the rug. But the Emoji Movie was a big topic because it was terrible. Nobody liked the trailer, but the movie did still well at the box office. But it got no sequel because everybody hated it. Now, was the movie actually that bad? It's still a bad movie, but I think the movie is a little overhated. The movie has some qualities to it. Like I'd say, at least the animation isn't terrible. I would say the writing is not good, but I can say that there are some jokes in the movie that the movie is just so stupid that it'll kinda get a laugh out of you. But that's about it. That's really all I can give the movie. I'll say that the movie isn't as bad as everyone's making it out to be. Still bad, but it's not the worst animated movie of all time. What are you guys sitting on? Literally, Food Fight exists. Another movie that is severely bashed on to this day is a sequel that everyone was thinking was really gonna work, but ultimately fell on its face. And that was Ralph Breaks the Internet, or just Wreck-It Ralph 2. And initially, not a lot of people liked this movie, and it just felt like a smack in the face to the first one, and really felt like it was part of an ongoing trend with movies that were only there to basically flex what certain companies have, and hey, you should watch this, or hey, you should buy this. This common trend that people tend to bash on goes with movies like Ralph Breaks the Internet, Space Jam: A New Legacy, which is a good movie, don't discredit Space Jam, and Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. These all movies, they all have like product placement you can clearly see in the movie, and apparently it weighs the movie down. Now, with Space Jam, I don't think so. Chip and Dale, it does kind of feel like a flex just a little bit. Ralph Breaks the Internet, I can see it. I can see where the flexing is coming from, and does that kind of weigh the movie down? Just a little bit. And the butchering of they did with Ralph with this movie, his whole character just was very unlikable in this movie. I get where they were trying to go with clingy relationships and everything, but it just fell flat. I would say that the movie itself isn't the worst Disney movie we've ever gotten, but it's still a movie that nowhere near comes close to the original and just feels like a giant ad for Disney itself and a bunch of other companies. So is this movie kinda bad? Yes. I wouldn't say it's terrible, but it's not a great movie. Actually, never mind. I just realized that Ralph flosses in the movie and they reference Fortnite. 0 out of 10. Sorry, terrible. The only redeeming quality of the movie is the post-credit scene of Ralph rickrolling the entire audience for Frozen 2. Next is a really overhated DreamWorks movie that I've kinda noticed, and I can see the reasons why, but Shark Tale. Now, this is a movie that when it initially came out, not a lot of people liked it, but as years went on, there were some things to find funny about it, and I mean, the film kind of felt like it was was riding off of the hype of Finding Nemo, but at the same time, it's its own thing, and the movie itself isn't really, like, that bad. Like, our protagonist is kind of an asshole, and all his supporting characters are just eh. And I think the story itself kinda balances itself well. It doesn't fall apart, but I would say that it's not the strongest DreamWorks movie, but it's a little too overhated. It's not that bad. We've gotten worser in later years. Next on the list is Norm of the North. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this either. You've seen clips from this movie, you've seen reviews of this movie. I am not going to go headfirst into the plot of this movie. Yes, it deserves the hate. The only funny thing that came out of this entire franchise was the Twitter account that remained inactive and then just started tweeting the most random things. The entire franchise as a whole is not good, is bad. Yes, the movie itself is very bad. If I had to look at this, you have to now too.
Why did you take a picture? It'll last longer.
Next up on the list is Storks. Wait, why is this on the list? People hate this movie? Okay, now I know that once the Lego movie came out and everybody loved it, Warner Brothers kinda wanted to start their own animation studio where they actually drop 3D animated movies every year or other year or so. And we had original movies like Storks, which was a movie that honestly, initially, not a lot of people liked, and I never got the chance to see this movie in theaters, so I was like, okay, where's all the hate coming from this movie? And then I watched it, because it was on Netflix at the time of me writing this video, and I genuinely don't see the problem why this movie is hated. No, there isn't anything extraordinary about this movie itself. I mean, it does bring upon this concept of Storks that really hasn't been brought up as a full-length movie before, and it's not really anything life-changing or anything, but it's a perfectly fine movie. Why is this on multiple lists of the worst animated movies? I will say that Warner Brothers, or WAG as they like to call it, haven't really dropped a smash original film since the Lego movies, so I can't really say much. Warner Brothers is trying to figure itself out and make a new 3D animation studio. We'll just see what they have to put out and if we'll actually see them. But next up is Cars 2. Now this is a decisive one. This is still might be considered one of the worst Pixar sequels ever. And after watching the movie, yeah, I have to give it the yeah, it's correct. It's just such an off-tone movie from what the first movie was that it feels so weird in being here, going from, the typical underdog story, and then a movie about spies, and there's cars dying, and it was like, what am I watching here? Thankfully, the movie that came after it, Cars 3, which had the hardest poster I think I've seen in years, came out and kind of cleared the fog for Cars 2. But after watching the movie, and if you watch Cars 1 and then go to Cars 2, the movies just don't add up. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to give that one, yeah, it kind of does deserve the hate. And then next we have Nut Job. Another movie, yes, deserves the hate. Lots of movies around this time were just really just getting out, oh cool, quirky characters, and a lot of movies were being set in New York, which was apparently drawing in people. That's a whole video in itself about how many animated movies take place in New York in the 2010s. But I would say that this movie, it's a plot. It's a plot that was probably formed in one night, and the movie just doesn't, you can't just say that, oh, it's an animated movie. Of course it's gonna be dumb. Of course the plot's gonna be not that great. This one, no. The movie itself is just bad, and the credits itself speaks for the entire movie. And finally, The Adventures of Buck Wild. Yes, this movie sucks. Yes, this is a complete disgrace to everything that Blue Sky has built. Sure, not every movie was great, but this was the biggest spit-on I've ever seen by a company, ever. Like, Disney already disbanded Blue Sky as a company, but doing this? Ice Age as a franchise was already dead, but making this for your platform was just horrible. The animation makes Megamind vs. the Doom Syndicate look like a Pixar movie, and the whole movie just sitting through that was just, it felt so forced and like disrespectful to the franchise that it's just a really bad movie. I know the people that were working on this were not original Blue Sky employees. These were definitely people that were just given, okay, you're working with this, Blue Sky is dead, we need to make some more money off of the Ice Age brand. And that's all that movie was, just to be a fill-in for anyone that wanted something for Ice Age. And that just wasn't it. If you're gonna leave it to rest, leave it to rest. Don't bring it back as a corpse that nobody would like, and that's what the movie was. And yes, this movie was pretty bad. And as I'm completing writing this video, I'm now realizing that this is probably gonna be a part 1. There are so many decisive bad movies that honestly aren't as bad as they really are, but if I really combined every single movie, it would be like over an hour-long video. So, if you guys want a part 2 of this, let me know, because boy have I been deep diving into some movies lately. So, send all the bad movies that you want. I'll maybe decide if they're really that bad, or if there's some good qualities to them. Let me know down in the comments, and thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace out.